ready.
Welcome to another episode of Buff in the Rough. Do you think your mood or your energy affects your hound's performance in the field? Have you ever wrongfully accused your hound of not running a track correctly? Has anyone ever given you or your hound fake compliments after you wore them out at a hunt? We'll answer these questions and more during our conversation with Atlee Lambright. Help me welcome Atlee to the show. Well, hey, Atlee, how are you doing?
Hey, Sam, I'm doing well. Enjoying the little rain. It just started raining here a little bit, and we desperately need it, so hopefully we get some more.
Well, very good. Well, thank you, sir, for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to talking to you. Atlee, I don't know much about you, so I'm really looking forward to learning more about you and your hounds and your experiences, and I'm very appreciative of your time. But before we get started, would you just share with us a little bit about yourself? Just tell us a little bit maybe about yourself and how you got into rabbit hunting.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I grew up on a dairy farm in Topeka, Indiana, which is about 25 minutes where I live now. Maybe it's a little more than that, about 30 minutes to be fair. I grew up on a dairy farm and enjoyed that. I love farming. I've helped Dad farm until I was like 17 years old. Then I went into the RV industry, and that's currently what I do now. I'm building recreational vehicles. And growing up, we had a fantastic life. Grew up with 5 brothers and 1 sister. My sister was the oldest. We had a lot of fun growing up with 5 brothers. We were normally into something, sometimes a bit of mischief, but we survived. And another thing I do along with running beagles is that I also run. I love to run marathons, and the distance is really my deal. I feel like the longer I go, the better I get. So, I caught that bug when I was around 16, 17 years old, and it hasn't left me yet. To this day, I still run about 15 to 30 miles a week.
Wow. And for people that aren't up on what a marathon is, like how many miles is that, Atlee?
It is 26.2 miles.
26.2. Wow.
Yeah. I got a hold of this group of runners, local runners, and that was earlier on in my running career, and they whipped me in shape pretty quick. It was I was in survival mode when I ran with those guys, but you know what? They made me in what I am today. Not just in running, but there was a good bunch of dudes, and I found that I was competitive, and I found out staying out late and into no good won't win me any races. And those guys took care of that pretty quick. So it kind of got me out of trouble, really. I wasn't really into any trouble, but it kept me from doing a lot of bad, I guess, so to speak.
One thing that I think came out of the COVID experience several years back was people started changing the way that they vacation, and they would do their own thing. RVs became like a big deal, and I imagine they still are.
It exploded. We through 2020 into 23, that was some of the best in the industry. To be in that industry, we were busy. We were smacked. But right now it's a little bit slow. The tariff is kind of slowing us up. Everything's a little bit more expensive to buy, but I think in the long run, it certainly is going to help us.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite style of RV, or do you have an RV yourself? Or
you know what? I do not own an RV. Where I work, we have the option to rent one, the employees. So for me to own one is nonsense.
I got you.
So we have access to our RVs, and probably for me, I love the travel trailer. You can pull it with a half-ton truck, 3/4 ton if you're going far or hilly, but the bumper pull, that's your ticket. Laminated, I mean, it's aluminum sidewalls, and it's fiberglass on the outside. It just hold up a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like you're into all kinds of things. I can't wait to learn a little bit more as we go along. But the hunting part, so how did you get into rabbit hunting?
Oh, wow. I was a young fella. Probably, I say young, makes me feel old, but I was probably around 20. I went with a good friend of mine named Phil Gingrich and Maynard Miller. And I didn't know the first thing about a beagle. When I was growing up, we had a pocket of woods out back, and we would jump shoot. Now I cringe when somebody says that, but we would jump shoot. We'd jump the rabbits, and we'd shoot them just like that. And I went with Phil. He had the dogs, and one Saturday morning, and I found out how it all works. And he ended up giving me one of his dogs. Totally fell in love with the dog, and started hunting by myself. Really enjoyed it, being with the dog. Now, I can't say I enjoyed rabbit hunting right from the get-go. It was that I loved being with the dog, and the dog loved rabbit hunting. And it wasn't until later where I saw what was actually happening out there, how cool it was that this rabbit, that the dog knew which way the rabbit was going without even having any tracks. In the dead of summer, this dog knows the rabbit's going that way. And I was amazed by a lot of things that I started seeing when I was actually out there with the dog.
Now, do you consider yourself more of a pleasure hunter, like a gun hunter, or more of a competition hunter, or do you enjoy both?
I would consider myself more of a pleasure hunter. Mm-hmm. But the competition side is not very far behind. Mm-hmm. I would say 80% of the time I'm running solo by myself. And the other percentage I am maybe at a hunt or running with a buddy. I do enjoy running with a buddy, but I am pretty busy. I have a lot going on here at the farm, and I'm always planting trees. I love planting trees, and since I've been here, I probably planted upwards to 2,000 or 3,000 trees. So wow. I am a busy man, and sometimes I feel bad not running with other people, but I sure enjoy it when I do.
Wow, that's a lot of trees, my friend.
Yeah,
that'll make a difference for the folks around there in the future.
I should maybe clarify: these trees aren't very big when I buy them. Mm-hmm. Most of these, majority of them were bare root, so it don't take long. A little bit of pushing the ground with your shovel and drop them in there. Mm-hmm. But I found throughout the years that those little guys, they want to live, and they can handle the stress and the transplanting a lot more than your big trees. So
that's fascinating. So you start hunting, you get your first beagle, you start hunting a lot by yourself. I always like to ask people, who influenced you the most? I mean, who are some of the people that really helped you learn how to be a good houndsman?
I guess I would fall right back into kind of where I started. Phil Gingrich, he taught me a lot. Dude can talk pedigrees till the sun goes down, and he kind of gets me lost in a lot of that sometimes, but knows a hound. Mm-hmm. Really does. And another guy I would like to mention is Sam Raber. For the first year or so, for the first 2 years of my running with the dogs, I didn't know any other beaglers. I thought there were only 3 of us. And they would talk about these hunts and the competition side of things, but I never ventured it that way until Phil. He told me, "Atlee, your dog is good enough. You need to go with us." And it was a qualifier. Now, lo and behold, I won my cast and I qualified for the world hunt. And I was like, man, this is kind of fun.
It's fun to win. It really is.
It is fun. I enjoy meeting people. And, you get a cast win every now and then. That's just frosting on the cake.
That's right. Now, you live in Indiana. So could you maybe describe what the hunting is like there, what the terrain is like, and maybe what kind of hounds you need to be successful where you live?
Sure. It is super flat here. I mean, when I say flat, there's an old joke that goes around that my dog ran away and he saw him go for a day and stepped on a 5-gallon bucket and saw him for another 2 miles. That's pretty flat. But yeah, we have a lot of briar patches and timber that we run in. So it takes a dog, that doesn't mind getting scratched up and getting the briars and in the thicket. You got to have a good hunt to get them up. And right now I'm hunting in a lot of grass. I've planted a bunch of native grass, and it's mixed in with flower. It's a 420 pollinator mix that I got through the Equip program, and man, it turned out. I got a lot of game. I got pheasants, a ton of birds, but yeah, that grass, you don't have these little pockets of briars. So that is a little bit trickier to hunt because they gotta search the entire area, and they like to sit in this little clumps of grass, and these clumps are everywhere. So it's not like they can just pick up their head and go to the next briar patch or the next little thicket. They better stay busy, or they won't get one up. Mm-hmm. So it is. It's a little bit diverse. We have some swamps, but nothing like no hills, or the terrain ain't bad. Mm-hmm. I feel like I could be 90 and still a rabbit hunter around here.
Nice. I like it.
You might have to move up here.
I would love to. Every time I talk to you guys out there in Indiana, it just makes me excited. I just want to come out there and live, because it just sounds like a paradise for rabbit hunters.
Yeah, it is nice.
Well, you've been doing this for a while, and I know you've had some really nice hounds. So could you tell us about some of your favorite hounds?
Yeah. My first dog's name was Bella. That's the one I got right from the get-go. And she was a complete sweetheart. Track dog, hunt dog deluxe. And then I got a dog from, actually, it's Phil's brother out in Ohio named John Gingrich. There's a few of those Gingrich boys. And most of my time, if I run with somebody, it's with one of those boys. I have learned so much from I'm getting off topic here a little bit, but I've learned so much from those boys. It's unreal. There's Paul and Alan. Mm-hmm. And if I have a question with any dog-related problems, that's kind of where I'm going to. I can get solid advice. But anyway, I bought a pup out of John's stuff. The mom to that dog was named Deep Magic Willow, AKC field champion on hair. So a lot of good breeding on that one. And this dog's name was Hoosier, and I bred Hoosier to Bella, my first dog that I got from Phil. She was bred like Johnny Paycheck or Salt River stuff, mm-hmm. Bright-spirited buddy, from northern Michigan. And I got this dog out of that cross that I call Classy. I still have him. He's 11 years old. But he really turned out. He was a fantastic dog on hair and on rabbits. Big nose, fast machine gun chop. And he's my favorite. Oh. He could, if there was a rabbit in the area, he was going to find it. Great hunt and probably even better track. So he's got a spot in my heart that he'll be there forever.
Oh, love those kind of hounds. I love just good rabbit dogs. They just mm-hmm. they just know where they are, know how to run.
Yeah, they're a complete pleasure to have around.
Mm-hmm. Well, as you've gone out and competed and hunted with other folks, what are some of the best hounds you've hunted against? You know, did you see any hounds out there that really caught your eye?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, some of the best ones. Well, I'm a little biased, but I'm going to throw two of them in there that I currently own. One is that Classy dog, and another dog is that I call Legs. Her nickname is Fifi, but both dogs are just exceptional, special dogs that have got the extra. Like, you put them in with the pack, you just pretty immediately you see this dog is some. Just great hunt, always busy, and just keeps the track together. Not crazy, running off the end of the line. That's both of those dogs, and I really like that. You just stay nice and tight. I don't really enjoy seeing a dog, just kind of crazy, swinging, whatever it takes to be up front. Those two dogs have been absolutely a pleasure. It's a blessing to own. I mean, have those dogs at the end of your leash is special. And going outside, this dog is no longer with us. It's a dog named Eeyore the Magnificent. Mm-hmm. That dog was a complete Cadillac. Just a beautiful voice to listen to. And if you saw him run, he was just smooth. Mm-hmm. Didn't mess up, always stayed close to the check area, and got a lot of lines by himself by doing that. He just stayed close to the check area and get that first line by himself. And beautiful on the bench as well. Mm-hmm. He loved to look good. He nailed it. Just an all-around fantastic dog. And to add a few more to that is a dog named Halfway on a Roll Anna. I saw her early in my career. Absolutely, I had young dogs at the time too. I don't know if that helped anything to make her look better or not, but it made my dogs, it was time to wake up. Because that day that I ran with her, and I ran with her multiple times, she looked really good. Could control a line and had good hunt. And the most recent, I guess the most recent. And so the last saw this dog go was probably 4 years ago. Dog named Sir Mongo from, he's from West Virginia, Owen D'Agostine. Had a dog that he won a lot with, and that dog was for real. Mm-hmm. It was hard to beat that dog. He just did everything right. Everything. He found the rabbit and could absolutely smoke it. So a lot of fun to watch that dog go. Hey, good hunt. And I love to see a good hunt in a dog, but you got to have the rabbit to run it. I could go on, but that's, I guess, the first one that's popping in my head.
Okay.
I guess, you know what? Another one is a dog named, how was her name? Lola. Buck Lake Lola. She was the same age as Bella. That was my very first dog that I owned. But Lola, she was, she's high on the list, if not at the top. Mm-hmm. Phil Gingrich owned her as well.
Okay.
Phil Gingrich, and I think he might have been in partnership with Matt Turner on that one, if I remember correctly, the guy from Ohio.
Well, Atlee, let's put together what I call the Mount Rushmore question. If you had to put together a cast of 4 dogs that you would like to see go, and they could be dogs from today, or they could be dogs that aren't with us anymore. They could be dogs you hadn't hunted with. But if you could put 4 dogs on the ground in one cast and watch them go, who would those 4 dogs be?
Those are tough ones. You're making me think a little bit. But honestly, I'm gonna probably go back to those 4 I mentioned. Okay. I guess I mentioned 5, didn't I? But yeah, I would probably go with those Classy Legs and Eeyore and Anna and Sir Mongo. I don't feel like that rabbit's going to live. I think we're going to catch that rabbit, and that's the end of it. Yeah.
All right, Atlee, if I'm keeping this right, I've got 6 dogs. But that's fine. We'll make it a 6-dog cast.
Yeah, you know what?
We're
not
why not?
leaving anybody home today.
That's right.
We're taking those 6.
Just drop the tailgate. Just let them go.
All right.
So Classy, we got Classy and Legs and Eeyore and Honor and Mongo and Lola.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. All right. Who wins that cast?
I'm gonna go with Legs. Yeah, it'll be tight. I think Legs is gonna beat Classy by a quarter, and then we'll have Eeyore and Sir Mongo, then Anna in the. And well, you know what? I'm gonna back up a little bit. We're gonna put Lola. I forgot about her. We're gonna put her behind Legs, and this cast is separated from 1st through 6th by 60 points.
Nice.
That's tight.
That's a good one.
I feel like Legs got a check in there.
I'd like to see that one.
Yeah, that'll be one for the books.
As you've been in this game for a while and you've enjoyed hunting all over the country, and talk about a favorite memory that you have.
Okay. Probably in the quarterfinals of the 2021 World Hunt. We were jumping rabbits. There was tall weeds. This was before the new rule was in, where if the rabbit circled, now when the rabbit circles, you plus the strike points.
That's right.
Prior to that, if you don't see the rabbit, there's no points.
There's no points.
And I was, I kind of forget how it goes, but I was down by a strike, and we just had circle points at that time. And I was down, and we're down to the last itty-bitty. And I remember seeing Legs about 40 yards up front, and her tail is just wagging. And I'm hunting with a guy from our area named Blake. He's winning at this time, and I'm like, Legs, she's about to jump a rabbit. And he gives me a push. He says, you better not. And judge says 30 seconds. It's down to 15 seconds. He's counting it down because I'm telling him that there's a rabbit close. She is just not leaving the area, and her tail is just going crazy. And he says 7 seconds. She makes one bark. I say, strike Legs, and the rabbit shoots out right in front of us. And then that was the hunt. It was just like that. In the last 7 seconds, she jumps the rabbit, shoots it across the lane, and I win.
Wow.
Yeah, that I still rub that in a little bit. But when that happened, I didn't jump. I jumped in the air, had my phone in my back pocket. My phone flew out, not realizing it. And we're in the boonies out there in Ohio. I forget where it was, but I lost my phone. It was, I bet it's close to an hour later, I finally found my phone. Walked my way back and just retraced my tracks. But yeah, I'll never forget. that got me in the semifinals then, and actually kept on winning and placed fourth place that year.
I'd say that's a good memory. That's tough to beat. That really is.
That was a close call between that and the semifinal cast. I had a real nice, tight race, a lot of good dogs, and she ended up pulling through in that one. But a lot of good memories on that semifinal cast as well.
Mm-hmm. While you've been out and about and doing this for a number of years, things happen. Crazy, unusual things happen from time to time. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen while you've been out hunting?
I've seen some rabbits do some really crazy stuff. Like, if you wouldn't have been there, you'd have thought the dogs were just, not with the program or not even started dogs if you didn't see what that rabbit did. I remember back home, early on, I was hunting the dog named Rock and Classy. Actually, Rock is Classy's littermate, but I had those two on the ground, and this dog, rabbit, kept on running the fence line just back and forth, literally on the same trail. It would go out, it would bring it back, and it did that multiple times, and these dogs kept figuring it out. At the end of the trail, it would just jump out 4 or 5 feet, and when the dogs were past, it would immediately jump back on that same track, and it would do that, I think it was 3 or 4 times, just back and forth. The dogs just kept figuring it out, and I was so impressed, but eventually it did venture out of there, but that was just one of the experiences that I've had with watching a rabbit do funny stuff and just being amazed at the dogs working it out.
I've got to tell you, I don't think I've ever seen one do that. I think that would be hard for the dogs to, I guess, depending on how close an area that was, to just go round and round and round and
I couldn't believe it.
That is pretty impressive. It really is.
The rabbit literally ran probably 80 yards. It would do that.
Wow.
One way, and it was an old cattle trail beside the fence, and it was actually dirt at the time, so it was not just regular grass, easy running. It was powdery dusty dirt. So yeah, I'm sitting on this corner post, and I'm seeing all what unfold. And if I wouldn't have seen that, I'd have been like, why are these dogs barking up and down that trail? So yeah, that was pretty neat to watch.
Oh, you'd accused them of backtracking or doing something boneheaded.
I think some people, even including myself, sometimes get a little crazy or quick on that button on your Garmin. I might have been pressing it.
Well, here's kind of a sportsmanship question for you. As you've been out there competing over the years, what's the nicest thing anybody's ever done for you?
I've had quite a few good experiences, seen some real good sportsmen. The nicest thing, though, at the top.
I'll take whatever, brother.
Yeah, nothing's really popping at me right now. Give me a touch.
And the reason I ask Atlee is a lot with competition hunts, I think people just automatically, I think when they think of experiences, they tend to go negative. And for me, yeah, I've seen some things that I didn't like, but I've seen a lot more nice things happen out there where people do help each other out, whether they're helping out kids or somebody else. I've just seen some really good sportsmanship, and so I wanted to start asking that as part of the
you know what? And there's a lot of good things that pop in my brain, but right now, I guess the most sportsmanlike and even the things that I remember the most is when somebody compliments your dog, or when it does good, or anything like that, pointing out something good in another person's dog and genuinely, meaning it. Mm-hmm. It's not like a fabricated congratulations or anything like that. It's just something that comes from the heart when actually out in the field, it just have it right in front of your eyes kind of deal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I've had the experience of having that, and I do like to return that favor now and then, but you know what, that's even harder than you think sometimes, to give the dog some verbal recognition.
That's true. Everybody's out there to win.
That's true, yeah.
I don't care who you are. Everybody likes to win.
A little blindfolded every now and then, I feel like.
That's true. Well, if you could go to your local rabbit dealership, a rabbit dog dealership, and order yourself the perfect hound, what's that perfect hound going to look like? What are they going to sound like? What are they going to hunt like? If you could build the perfect beagle for Atlee, describe that for me.
All right, it would be a leggy, athletic-looking female, just under 15, or she could be a full 15 inches with extreme hunt, and I'm envisioning her out there just hunting her butt off and jumping a rabbit, and not just jumping it, seeing it jump up, and as she jumps a rabbit, she's jumping in the air with both paws in the air, mouth open, and basically scraping some fur off the rear end yet. And she would run this rabbit with no checks, and it'd probably be best to have safety glasses on because her turns are going to be that hard that, debris and stones and dirt's going to be flying. She won't stop until that rabbit goes into a hole. All day drive.
What color?
She's got a fast chop or a long ball. Probably the fast chop. I would probably vote with the fast chop.
Fast chop. What is she colored like? Do you have a favorite color? What?
Yeah, her ears are kind of painted up, walnut colored, spotty ears, blanket back, some white, basically a black, white tan.
Okay.
But definitely athletic looking. She'll be able to jump easy, maneuver over fences.
I think you'd win some casts with that dog.
I feel like I'd be a threat.
All right. So if you could add or subtract or modify any existing rule out there, what would it be?
They've come a long way with the rules, adding and subtracting them. The latest one, which I touched on briefly, was adding being able to plus the strike points on a circle. I really like that. And after that, I'm not sure where I'd start.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I would. Actually, I would. On the no hunt rule, you have 3 minutes right now where there's not a grace period, but after 3 minutes of non-hunting, the dog gets minus 100 points, and another additional 2 minutes, you're scratched. I feel that's being real gracious.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in maybe 2 minutes of no hunt, you're 100 minus 3 minutes, you're out. There's just no room to stand around. And the other one is probably the time it takes to catch your dog. I think it's 20 minutes right now. I like to see a dog that handles out in the field. And if you can't call your dog in, maybe we should start working with him in the yard a little bit. I do like, we do not use, we use track collars, but not train. We're not allowed to use those. And I really like the fact that we can keep it like this. I feel that's going to take away from the handling aspect of things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, I do use that button here at home. If they're getting wherever, they're going somewhere where they're not supposed to be. One tone means stop, and the 2 tones means come back to me right now. So if I see that happening in the field trial, that beep, beep,
mm-hmm.
people are going to be controlling my dog. 2 tones means come back to the handler. 1, stop what you're doing. Continue hunting, but do something different. You're getting too close to something. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess that's where I'm at with that. Mm-hmm. Just covering those 2 things. I mean, that's not a rule, but just something that I would like to enforce, I guess.
You may have already answered this, sort of, but I'm going to ask it again. If you need help with a hound-related challenge, it could be a health challenge, a training help, and you can only call one person, who are you going to call?
Tracy Livingston. That guy he's a walking vet. If I would go traveling with somewhere far, or not just far, but he's got a wealth of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
From a health to a dog, supplements, he'll get you on the right track. Something's wrong, and I've done it already. My Legs dog had pups. Had some real issues, about lost her, and he got me on the right track, got me some medicine, just coaching me up through the entire process. Yeah, he's still got a lot of knowledge.
Now, what's your favorite part of the country to hunt?
Well, if I'm hunting cottontails, I'll either go to Mississippi, which is about an hour and 47 minutes to be exact from my house, which is down the southern end-ish of the state of Indiana. And they got some beautiful running down there. They got game, good thickets, rabbits run big. Or I'm going to Ohio. Ohio is just loaded with good spots.
Mm-hmm.
Zanesville, Colville area. A lot of good running out there, and a lot of rabbits. If I'm going for hare, I'm either going to I'm going to Drummond Island. It's a good running up there.
And I'm sorry, where is that? Drummond Island.
It's in Michigan. It's an island up in Michigan.
Do you have a favorite club that you like to go to? One that you just know you're going to end up on rabbits. You're going to have a good time. The judges are going to be extra good. I mean, are there clubs out there that you just prefer over others? Maybe there's one or two for you.
Yeah, the one is real local here, which is a local club. The reason I say that is because they have good judges as well, and also rabbits. Typically, I can be a guide, and I know where I'm going. We're going to have running, and likewise on another Indiana club that's down in Magenica, which is in Huntington County in Indiana. Mm-hmm. Beautiful running spots, and also the judges are fair, and you're going to have a good shake that day if you go to any of those clubs. In Ohio, that's Randy Workman. He's in Pennsylvania. That dude, he's got a checkerboard running spots. I mean, I think he's out there with a weed eater and trimming. He's got beautiful spots. I don't like to draw him. I do, but I don't, because he's got good dogs. But I tell you what, we're going to be seeing rabbits. Mm-hmm. So that's honestly, Randy Workman, that's the top of my list spots to go.
Atlee,
I'm sure I'm missing something.
Well, those are
one of those, so hopefully they're not offended if I.
We're so lucky to have a lot of good clubs in the country.
Yeah,
just scattered about too, and just scattered all over the country. There's some really good clubs out there.
This past weekend I was in Kentucky. They're starting a new club out there in Kentucky. Those guys have some fantastic running as well. It's rough country, but they'll put you in rabbits. Prestonsburg, Kentucky.
If you could go back in time and give your young self some advice about getting into rabbit hunting, what kind of advice would you give a newcomer coming into the sport?
A newcomer coming into the sport, I would tell him to find a dog that he loves and connects. I feel like if you don't love the dog, I mean, you might not enjoy rabbit hunting. If you're just looking to target shoot or something like that, I don't feel like rabbit hunting is what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Just go out there and, you might be wanting to shoot some clays, but to fall in love with the dog first is foremost. And if the dog is happy, it's going to perform much better than dogs can feel that. In my opinion, they know if you're happy or if you're satisfied with what it's doing. So I would definitely find a dog that you like and give it a shot. Run with some good, solid people that can help steer you in the right direction, which I was blessed to have that around me when I got started.
That's sage advice. It's so much more fun if you have a good dog.
Yep.
And really, that's what it's all about, is that bond you have with your favorite beagle.
And it truly is. I feel like those dogs, they know if they're loved or not. If they're being, I've had happen when I'm killing up dogs, getting ready to go. The one is acting up and kind of gets me in a bad mood. And I still take that dog, and that dog feels it, that I'm not very happy with him, and it shows on the field. He's not quite himself. He's not hunting as hard or whatever as if it'd been a different day and I'd been in a better mood.
Atlee, get out your crystal ball, and I want you to look way into the future, and I want you to think about and share with us what you think is the biggest challenge facing hunters in the future.
Well, I would say finding spots to hunt. I feel like every day, every year, it just gets a little bit harder finding spots to run your beagle. And probably something else that goes hand in hand with that is people not liking, thinking dogs are being misused, or the word I'm looking for, mistreated. Mm-hmm. Hunting hounds, they shouldn't be doing that, or the animals. That's not a very good sport. It's not humane. I feel like those types of groups of people are really cracking down. I feel like it's happening more than we think, trying to shut hound hunting down. I could be wrong, but I do feel like we need to stick together. And along with, hunting in general, I feel like even deer hunters are really pushing back on rabbit hunters. The big guys tell them, can't keep a dog on the property or they're going to scare deer off. I'm a big deer hunter. I love deer hunting. It's right up there with rabbit hunting. I run my dogs exactly where I deer hunt. And I'd be safe to say I bet I have more deer on the property than anywhere else in the county. I run them. I see the deer out while I'm running, so I don't feel like it's an issue. It might be if you have a dog that keeps running deer multiple times, it might not come back. But I wish we could somehow close that gap with the deer hunters and the rabbit hunters. So I feel like for even a new guy coming in, he's got to have a spot to run. And right now, there's so much big money in the deer hunting. It's tough. It's pretty much a one-way street.
Yeah, you just described, I think, most of the country and the biggest challenges that everyone's facing.
Mm-hmm. That's huge around my house here. It's crazy.
Let me ask you this. When you're on a cast, is it hard to keep up with you since you're a marathon runner? I mean, do you just take off and leave everybody in the dust?
I feel like it is an issue if I don't remind myself. But I try to be considerate, and I feel like I stay within a reasonable distance with a little hustle and a couple quick feed that they can be right here with me. Mm-hmm. But no, I feel like as a whole, I stay close to the cats. I try to. And I would expect somebody I wouldn't take it the wrong way or be offended if they told me, hey, Atlee, you're just getting too far out.
Slow down.
Yeah, I hunt with some older people that I enjoy hunting with. I know what it's like. Mm-hmm. So I wanted them to be close by.
Is there anything that I didn't ask you about that I should have, or is there anything else you want to cover or promote? A lot of people have stud puppies, local clubs, upcoming events, or something like that. Is there anything that you want to talk about as we wrap up?
I do have my Classy male dog. Classy's a male, and he is up for stud, and he's been reproducing like crazy. Not just one dog per litter, but it seems like the entire litter is just on point. Well, so if somebody's looking for a male, I'd be delighted for them to use him.
Well, Atlee, tell us about him a little bit. What does he look like? How does he hunt? What is he bred like? I mean, tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, he's a black, white, and tan. He's long. He's a full 15 inches. By long, I mean his body is he's stretched out long. Got a deep chest, and he's a chop mouth. And he's a Soluble River bred and a heavy Branco, about 3 or 4 generations, top and bottom. Bright Spirited Buddy, which is also goes back to Soluble River. That Deep Willow Magic's in there. His grandma, Deep Magic Willow, international field champion on hair. Both strains of dogs, top and bottom, were known for their hunt. And also tracking, but Lake Omaha Casey's in there. Johnny Paycheck, most of that stuff is all Soluble River. Mm-hmm. So he's got a lot of good old hare hunting blood. Not just hare, but there's a lot of hare hunting blood in there. And he's got like I said, he's got a chop mouth. And in his day, there was no quit. I would put multiple back-to-back days on him with 30-plus miles. Big running. He never stopped. You would literally have to catch him off a rabbit, and he'd be ready for the next one. A lot of desire, all-day hunt. No quit. That's Classy.
I would, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I would imagine a dog that hunts that hard, he's going to jump some rabbits too.
He jumped a rabbit. He would. If it was non-local, he would go deep. Mm-hmm. Yep, that was a big strong point for him. And
if he's running hare, he must have pretty good foot.
Yeah, he had good foot. Yeah,
okay.
Good foot and insane line control.
Oh.
Once he lost track of that rabbit, he's not running that track over very far at all. He'll come right back to point of loss and get the first one back, get that track rolling again.
Well, it sounds like a fine hound, and hopefully some folks that are out there listening that are in need will give him a shot. Yeah,
that'd be great. I'd be delighted to have him use them on their females.
Very good. Well, Atlee, thank you so much. I really, again, just appreciate all of your time. This has been super interesting. I've learned a lot that I did not know, and so I really appreciate your time again. And I wish you the best in the future, and hopefully you'll get some more Classy pups on the ground.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be on here, and delighted but humbled. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to Buff in the Rough. And remember to like and subscribe if you want to be notified when we have new content available. And please send comments and suggestions to buffintherough@gmail.com.